Namaste and welcome to your practice. Meet me in extended child's pose. Knees are wide, arms are stretched out in front of you. Lift that belly button inward and up. A lot of integrity in your arms, in your spine, in your abdomen. Feel your hips flexing back to your feet. Your hips are open, and breathe. Deep inhale in. Exhale it out and rise up and meet me in tabletop position. Go ahead and flip your toes under and push it on back to a downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. Start waking up through the legs. Hold for stillness and breathe. Maybe roll through your ankles. And then slowly walk your way up to the top of the mat and meet me in a forward fold. Releasing and relaxing everything, the spine, the neck. Relax your jaw. Relax any tension you feel in your head or neck. Maybe clasp your elbows and take it side to side, getting a good stretch through the lower back. Breathe. And then make sure you put your big toes together to touch. And let's slowly roll it up through the spine. Starting through the legs, then straightening through the lower back, all the way up through the chest. Namaste, prayer position in front of your chest. Deep inhale in. Exhale. Keep breathing. Maybe your eyes are closed, or maybe you just have a soft gaze. Continue breathing. Take your hands all the way back up together to touch. Hands overhead. And slice it through the middle back to forward fold. Relaxing everything over again. Halfway lift. Your hands come to your shins or maybe your thighs. Straightening through the spine. And release back to forward fold. Take it back to a plank position. Doming through the upper back, keeping the core very tight and engaged. And shift forward on your toes, and then shift backwards, just playing here. And then slowly lower it down, just a halfway lift. Stop halfway, hold, breathe. And then flip your feet to the tops of your feet and meet me in an upward facing dog. Your knees should not be touching the mat, just the tops of your feet and the palms of your hands. And you're opening up through the throat, through the chest. And then roll back through your feet and push it back to a downward facing dog. This is a flow when we do this. So we might do this a few times. So right now we're in downward dog. Breathing. And that flow is called a vinyasa. So holding stillness in your downward dog. Hop it up or walk it to the top of your mat, again in forward fold. And we're going to take a halfway lift. Release, forward fold. Hands come up to rise above your head. Jai Namaste, clapping together, slicing it right back down the center into your forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, release. Take it back to your plank halfway, flip to the top of your feet, vinyasa, upward facing dog, roll it back into your downward dog. Good job. Lift that right leg high in the air and bring the right foot between your hands, coming into a lunge. Warrior one. Hands lift up high, bending in that right knee. Make sure your hips are very squared off to the top of your mat. Sometimes we want to open our hips up to, the back leg, but keep those hips open to the front, hands tall and high above, bending in the right knee, and let's open it up into a warrior two. Staying bent through that right knee, we're going to open it up to the left hand out, right hand out, and take your gaze over your right arm. And then bring that right arm up as we straighten through the right leg, and let that left arm just hang down loose. Getting a good side body stretch here. And lower the right hand now to the right foot and open up, taking your left arm all the way up into the air, triangle pose. These are very good opening postures, opening through the chest, opening through the throat. And I like it for my neck too. Like, you can look up towards your hand, you can look out to the side. Meet me back into a warrior two, hands on the hips, and then take your feet, facing forward. They're both parallel to each other, and start to do a forward fold here with your hands on your hips. And then finally slowly release your hands and arms down to the mat. So we're just hanging out in a extended forward fold here. And just find what your body is capable of doing. And, take deep inhales, and on the exhales, you may notice that you can fold or bend a little deeper. But the point is not to strain and force. You're not learning anything by forcing. You have to see where you are, examine, breathe, relax. If it's possible to take it a little further, you may, but maybe not. Maybe that's for another day. Come back up to stand. Go ahead and shoot that right foot back out into your warrior two pose. And let's take extended warrior, and then back to your lunge, and then back to your downward dog. Pedal through the feet. Now we're going to the other side. Left leg comes up high. And then go ahead and bring that left foot through in between your hands into your warrior one. Bending through the left knee, arms come up high overhead. Hands to the hips. Make sure you're squared off. Playing with your posture, playing with your position. Bring your hands back up to the top, to the ceiling. And then we'll open up to warrior two on this side. Left knee is bent open. You're really driving through that right leg. Straighten up through the left leg now, and let's take a side stretch here, lifting the left hand up high, right hand just dangles back. Releasing that left leg down to your left foot, triangle pose, opening up, lifting that right hand up to the sky, big open chest, open throat. Maybe you look up to the right hand. Big inhales and exhales, and find any places that you can relax. Don't grip. Go ahead and take your hands to the hips now, and we're going to straighten up that left leg to be parallel to the right. And this time, take your hands behind your back, take a bind, opening up through the shoulders, and slowly release forward into a forward fold here. And then let those arms just fall over, let gravity do its thing, and breathe. Go ahead and start to come out, letting those hands draw back down and pulling yourself backward. And go ahead and straighten back out through the left leg. Take your left hand over, stretch, cartwheel down, vinyasa into upward facing dog, and take it back to your downward facing dog. Breathe. Pedal through the feet, stretch them out. Go ahead and lift the right leg again. Foot comes to the air. Bring that right foot in between your arms, back to warrior one. Good bend in the right leg, hips squared off. Hands to prayer position from in front of our chest. And now we're going to hook the left elbow outside of the right knee into a twist here in our prayer position. And take your gaze where you want your twist to go. So maybe you're looking up to the ceiling. Maybe you're just looking right past your right elbow. Go ahead and release. And this time we're going to bring both the hands to the left side of our right foot. So the right foot's on the outside, the hands are on the inside. And we're going to lunge here. Get a good stretch. Go ahead and lower the back left knee in the foot. Stretching it out here. Breathe. Just feeling it out, noticing all the sensations. You're not rushing. And go ahead and swing now the right foot back, and we're going to meet back in a downward facing dog. You're going to lift your left leg up, bring it between your hands. Warrior one, hands come up and over, bending in the left knee, hips are squared off, looking good. Prayer position. Now we're going to twist to our left, hooking the right elbow outside the left knee. Belly button is engaged, inward, upward. You are strong. This shape is beautiful. You are breathing. You are alive. Focus. Go ahead and release. Bring both of those hands to the inside of the left foot and get a good stretch here in this lunge. And then go ahead and lower the right knee, foot down. Hang your head over. This is like a lizard. And maybe you go down to your elbows and you take a deeper lizard pose here. But we're fine just on the palms of our hands right now. Inhale, exhale. Only thinking about the breath. About the next inhale you're going to take, how deep and full it will be, and letting the exhale push itself out of you, taking any old dead air with it. Good. Coming out of that, bringing the left leg around. We're going to meet back in downward dog. And let's take pigeon. So bring your right knee up to your right wrist and see if you can sit really tall with this position. Your leg is bent. Your right leg is bent at the knee. And then you're going to slowly come down over the right leg. And maybe you come all the way down to your mat, or maybe you keep your hands like how we have them in lizard, and you're propping yourself up. Find a good variation for yourself depending on your flexibility, your body. What feels good to you? And we're going to just breathe here. I really love pigeon because I can definitely notice where I can relax and ease more into the pose, because you're usually, when you first fold over into pigeon, holding somewhere, and then you're like, inhale, exhale, oh yeah, let me release and soften there. And you just relax a little more, until you're just completely relaxed, fold it over. This may sound morbid, but I always imagine if you were dead right now, you wouldn't be holding anything. So just be dead. Completely relax. I am not in control of anything. I am letting it all go. Let God do what He will. I don't need to worry. Just going to do what I feel He is telling me to do for my life. And pray for those that I love. And relax. Enjoy. Still in pigeon. Keep breathing. And when you feel like you've gotten a good inhale, exhale, go ahead and lift yourself back up. Meet me back in downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up to the sky. Bend at the knee. Open up through the hips. And fall open into what we call a wild thing. So now your right hand is hovering up. You're propped up on your feet and your right arm, and then go ahead and twist it back into your downward dog. Good job. And take the left knee now to the left wrist to do pigeon on the other side. Find a good comfortable seat. Sit up tall. Deep breath in. And when you're ready, you can fold yourself over that left leg. And breathe. Breathe like you love yourself. Go ahead and take your last deep inhale and exhale in that pose. Bring it back. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Pedal through the feet. Notice how your hips feel. Maybe one side felt different from the other. Go ahead and open through the left leg, bending at the knee, opening through the hips, and then take it down and around, coming into your wild thing on this side. Stretching through that left arm, through the back, and then twist it back to your downward dog. Lower your knees to the mat. Come to standing on your knees. And flip the toes under. Stretch through those feet. Bring your hands to your lower back. Fingertips upward. And just, try to give yourself a little back bend here. Opposition against your hands, pushing your back forward, and then bringing your head back between your arms, opening through the chest, through the throat, Good back bend here. And then maybe you lower your right hand to grab onto your right heel, and then your left hand to grab onto your left heel. Getting an even deeper stretch here. Breathe. Gentle breath. And always imagine the circulation of breath. In and feel it circling around and out. And gently release and come into sitting on your feet. So hero pose is what we call this. Deep breath in and out. You are calm, you are focused. And then meet me back in a downward facing dog. And walk it up to the top of the mat, forward fold. And this time we're going to do gorilla pose. So take your hands, palm up, and walk your feet on top of your hands. And while your feet are on top of your hands, bring the toes all the way up to the wrists. Start moving your feet around. Use those toes to like squash your palms, squash your hands, squash through the fingers. Getting all the blood flowing, squashing the ligaments, getting some action in those hands. When you've had enough, go ahead and pull them out, shake them out. Release, forward fold. And go ahead and bring yourself back down to your mat on your bum. And we're going to slowly roll ourselves all the way back to laying down on our mats. And if you don't have a mat, that's quite alright. I did not have a mat my whole first year that I did yoga. Then lay down on your back. Bring the shins parallel to the ceiling, arms out in T pose. Go ahead and look towards your right arm and lower those knees down to the left side. Twist. Breathe. When you're ready, bring those knees back to center. And now look towards your left arm and release the knees to the right side. Go ahead and bring the knees back to center again. Thread your hands between your legs and come up and grab your feet with your hands and pull them upward. This is called Happy Baby. And maybe straighten through the legs. Just find any movements here that feel good to you. Driving the feet downward, opening through the hips. Go ahead and wrap your arm, bring your knees together to touch, and then wrap your arms around your knees. Give yourself a big hug here. Did such a good job today. Go ahead and release your legs out long, arms out to your side. I like to take my palms face up, like I'm going to be receiving something. maybe a message, maybe something tangible in the day. You never know what God has in store for you. Take some deep breaths and relax yourself into Shavasana. You did so amazing. I always tell my kids, you can't mess yoga up. You're just going to learn and get better. That's Luna. Can't not mention her. She's been running around the whole time. Inhale, exhale. Take any little movements, maybe pop your toes, maybe windshield wiper your legs, or maybe you just come to complete stillness, breathing. Maybe you start waking up through the feet, through your fingers. Notice what was going through your mind. Were you completely relaxed? Were you already thinking about the next thing you need to do? Just notice. And turn yourself over onto your side, this fetal position. And want my mommy. And go ahead and sit up. Wake up. Namaste, my friends. God bless.